Hello, Chillicothe. I'm Joshua Nye.
From the studios of Chillicothe High School, this is your CAVS News Show.
Last week at CHS, it was one of the final OGT weeks the school will see thanks to a new series of testing called air testing. The downfall of air testing method is that it is a series of tests covering all subjects. Recently, the Obama administration has passed a bill that calls for fewer assessments in schools nationwide. Not only does this bill reduce testing, it calls for the assessments given to pertain more to what the students need to know in general, as opposed to just testing on, say, what happened in a novel. Therefore, the students of Chillicothe will be blessed to know that the given assessments will decline as time goes on. For an update on Cavalier sports, let's go to Taylor Boggs.
Thanks, Olivia. I'm Taylor Boggs with this week's CAVS News Sports Update. As fall sports come to an end, we still have one team fighting to play. Our football team is determined to receive the win so they can make it to the playoffs. Along with the games, CHS will hold a pep rally and senior night for the football, cheerleading, band, golf, cross country, and tennis teams. Now let's get off the subject of football and move on to a sport that most people overlook or they just simply don't know about. One of my fellow broadcasting classmates took the time to recognize this sport and all the hard work they put into it. Let's take a look.
My name is Quentin Boggs.
My name is Darius Harris.
My name is Donovan Lowe. I'm a senior in 12th grade.
My name is Abilena Sullivan, and I am a sophomore at CHS.
My name is Ricky Villarreal.
Ella Cusolini.
My name is Justin Wood. I'm in 9th grade. Well, I ran cross country in middle school to condition me for track, and ever since then I started to begin to like it, and it just became a thing for me.
I originally started running cross country as conditioning for my swimming because I was on the swim team. And after my first meet, I kind of, right after my race, I was like, this is awful. Why would I ever want to do this again? But then a couple minutes later, you get the satisfaction of finishing the race and beating your best time. And I fell in love with the sport.
I started cross country because I thought that running would be healthy and I thought I might actually be good at it.
I started cross country mainly to improve on my event in track, which is 300-meter hurdles, and to just build momentum.
The reason why I started cross country is because back in 7th grade, there was an announcement over the intercom that said, anybody interested in doing cross country, please go to Mrs. Whoever's room. I didn't know what cross country was, so I just went in there to check it out to get out of class, and I learned it was running. I was like, hey, that seems pretty cool. So I started from there, and I've loved it ever since.
I started running cross country because Semantic recruited me in sophomore year. He asked me to run for him, and I originally wasn't that enthusiastic about it, but now I love it.
Needed a sport to play and felt like running would be something I would be good at.
To be a cross-country runner takes a lot of determination and hard work. It's not the average sport. There's a lot of running, of course, that's involved in it. You have to keep up your miles. Practices are usually hard, not easy, and yeah, it takes a lot of effort.
It was hard for me in the beginning of the season. I wasn't really conditioned that much since I was just transitioning sports, and it wasn't that.
It can be a fun sport at times. It just depends on what we do that day.
My least favorite part about cross country is the feeling you get before a big race, because I get really nervous because I want to do my best. And but once you're out of the start and you start running, then it kind of goes away.
Cross country is a lot of fun. And not only, some people may not think the running part is fun, but I sort of enjoy that as well to relieve stress and stuff. But we are definitely a family. It is a family environment. We're all brothers and sisters. We all joke around. We all love each other for who we are. And no matter what happens, I think we'll be able to go to each other. And if we need each other, we always have each other's backs. And I just love them all so much.
No, the cross country team is more than a team. It's more of a family than anything else.
I do not think cross country is a team sport. I think it's a family sport because we're all trying to make each other better for the good of the team and just because we want each other to strive for success and be the best they can be.
No, cross country is not just a team. It's like our own little family. We work together. We finish as a team. Just, yeah.
My favorite part about cross country is the relationships you build with your teammates. In my opinion, I think the bond between cross country runners is a lot greater than just, football or basketball, just because there were a smaller group or around each other during those long runs for like the whole time, so we get to learn a lot about each other. So yeah, probably the relationships with my friends.
Cross country is one of my favorite sports. Right besides wrestling, cross country is one of my favorite sports. It's a family environment and it's just all around fun place to be.
Cross country can lead to other sports. As you begin to run faster, you can play other sports such as football. You can become a faster linebacker or quarterback. And with baseball, you can run the bases faster and possibly knock it out.
Cross country can lead you into other sports because it's just running, so really you can just use it to condition for other sports and stay in shape, and being more in shape to run longer distances will help you on the field playing football, soccer, whatever it is you play.
Cross country is definitely, it improves you in other sports because one thing it helps me with is wrestling. I'm in more shape than the other people are when I get to wrestling practice, because some of them that don't do fall sports tend to be more tired after running, sprints, things like that. And even in track, it helps me to be ready for that next season.
Other sports, yeah, you can lead you right into track season for running the mile and 2 mile.
I think we should have a lot more cross-country runners because it's a sport where there's no bench. Like, no matter what, you're always going to be able to perform, and everybody gets an opportunity to do their best, and really anybody can be good at cross-country. It just takes hard work.
I think it's a good idea for other people to join cross country. Granted, you only need 7 people to have a team, and only the top 5 have their points actually count, but every person that you have in a race could bump down another team's 5th fastest runner and make your lead a lot bigger of a lead against the other teams. And plus, I think it's just a good thing, kids getting out and running instead of staying inside playing video games and not getting outside.
When I first started the streak that I'm on currently, it originally wasn't even a streak, honestly. It was just a way to lose weight for wrestling, help me lose weight, and then it became a streak after a long while of thinking about it and pushing myself, and now it's almost a year strong. So it was originally just a goofing around thing to help me lose weight for wrestling, and it's become sort of a thing for me now. So.
As you can see, our cross-country team puts in a ton of hard work. Most people don't realize how hard it is to be determined to run a 3.2-mile race, or how much work it takes to actually be able to run a race like that. Now that's all I have for this week. I'm Taylor Boggs. Now back to Olivia and Josh in the studio.
On September 21st at Moody Middle School in Henrico County, Virginia, a 13-year-old student was suspended because she threw a carrot at a teacher she had from a previous year as a prank. She stated that she was having a pretty normal day, but then she was taken out of her art class by the assistant principal. She was told that her prank was caught on camera. She states that after finding out the carrot hit the teacher in the forehead, she was shocked. She is facing assault and battery charges.
A few months ago, Donald Trump was fired from NBC, yet he was given a role as host of their signature comedy show, Saturday Night Live. The episode featuring the future presidential candidate has received some of the highest ratings the show has seen this year. Trump's performance was so offensive to the minority groups of America that there has been a new hashtag trending, Hashtag racism isn't funny. For more on that, let's look at Joshua Nyheiser.
With Donald Trump hosting Saturday Night Live, it has sparked controversy with NBC. Many people don't think it would be appropriate for Donald Trump to host SNL, and people have taken to social media with their views and opinions using the hashtag racism isn't funny in reference to Donald Trump. Congressman Lorne Michaels believes Trump should cancel his Saturday Night Live appearance because of the hashtag. On websites such as MoveOn.org and Change.org, there have been 370,000 signatures protesting the appearance. With more on Donald Trump's appearance on SNL and things happening in pop culture, here's Parker Tracy with Pop Fusion.
Hi, I'm Parker Tracy, and welcome to this week's installment of Pop Fusion. Halloween is right around the corner, and I'm excited! It's my only excuse to dress like a total goofball and not get in any trouble for it. Anyway, let's get started before I talk you guys to death. Let's start off with a little bit of general things before I get into some more Halloween-based things, but this is pretty scary if you ask me. Donald Trump was invited to host Saturday Night Live on November 7th. All jokes aside, however, this has caused some uproar as a social media campaign known as hashtag racism isn't funny has gotten over 370,000 signatures to protest Trump's appearance on the show. Also, the National Hispanic Leadership Agenda has sent a complaint letter to the producer of the show, calling it a ratings ploy. However, it is actually very rare for a presidential candidate to host a show. In fact, the last time a candidate did host the show was in December 2003 with Al Sharpton. On the lighter side, let's talk about some new games. First off, Halo, because of Halloween. Never mind. Anyway, Halo 5 was recently released on the Xbox One. This game's story follows the series' usual protagonist, Master Chief, as well as a new protagonist known as Spartan Locke, who is hunting down Chief after he went rogue. You get to play as both of them through alternating campaign missions, as well as having their own squadron at their disposal, being able to command your units. Also, the multiplayer features classic arena-style modes, as well as a new Warzone mode, which pits you and your team against a rival team, as well as AI enemies and bosses. It also includes a new Rex system, which allows you to call in more powerful weapons and vehicles to give your team the upper hand. Next up, the indie horror game Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is getting an update on Halloween. In short, this game takes place in a child's house where Chuck E. Cheese-esque animatronics are inside. However, since the game takes place within the child's nightmares, the animatronics are practically demons. Creepy. The game forces you to listen to the audio to see if something's after you or not. This update is going to put more animatronics from the previous games in their respective nightmare versions and provide some scares to finish off this very popular indie series. Now, there has been a recent Kickstarter campaign that is bound to interest horror fans. This campaign is to fund the Friday the 13th game. Basically, the game takes place at a summer camp where players have to survive the notorious Jason Voorhees. One player gets to be the iconic character and go after the others, who are camp counselors that either have to escape or take down Jason, which will require a lot of cooperation and a lot of precise timing. A very amazing thing about the game is that the original actor who portrayed Jason in the movies is doing all of the motion capture for the in-game character. That is probably the most authentic way to bring him back into the world through games. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this week. Better get going, there's some pretty spooky things happening. Back to you guys in the studio.
This Saturday, October 31st, also known as Halloween, our very own Marching Cavaliers will be making music throughout the streets of downtown Chillicothe in the annual Halloween Parade. The parade showcases everything from Little League football to local candidates running for positions in our government. The parade starts at 7 p.m., but the streets are usually crowded, so you'll want to arrive early. If you're curious about what you should wear as a costume, let's go to Elise Jones and Audrey Huggins with the first episode of Do It Yourself.
Hello, I'm Elise Jones.
And I'm Audrey Huggins.
Welcome to our first DIY. This week, we are going to be showing you how to make a toilet paper tube crown.
This is great for little girls playing dress up, birthday parties, or Halloween, so let's get started.
The things you will need for this project are a toilet paper tube, any color paint or markers you choose, I have chosen green paint. Paint brushes if you choose paint, scissors, a headband, a hot glue gun, or super glue if you prefer not to use heat.
So first you'll need to get your roll and start cutting the top into triangles. Then you will need to cut the roll in half.
Next, you want to paint the roll. If you choose paint, remember to let it completely dry.
At this point, you want to plug in your hot glue gun to a top for later. Now you can either stop here, or to make it even more beautiful, you can decorate it. You can use anything you want, but we have gone with glitter glue. I'm going to draw a heart on it.
So the last step is to make your crown wearable. So take your headband and put glue only on the parts that the crown will be on. Now stick the crown on the headband and let it completely dry. Now you have a fashionable crown.
Thanks for watching our first DIY. Hope you'll find this useful.
Now let's go back to Olivia and Josh in the studio.
On Monday, October 26, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck northeastern Afghanistan and Pakistan. Pakistan suffered 200 deaths and over 1,000 injuries. 73 were dead in Afghanistan and over 300 injured.
Undergoing serious amounts of severe weather, our East Coast has been hit again. Striking the western coast of Florida was Hurricane Patricia. Starting as the most severe tropical cyclone on record, Patricia has traveled up through Mexico and died down by the time it hit Florida. At the storm's most powerful point, its winds had reached as high as 200 miles per hour. Hurricane Patricia was the first Category 5 hurricane to be an imminent threat to North American land since 2007. If you're interested in more on natural disasters, let's head to Coy Kozad and Josh Sparks with Did You Know?
Thanks guys, I'm Joshua Sparks.
And I'm Coy Kozad, and this week on Did You Know, we're going to be talking about the vast vacuum we know as space. Have you ever looked up into the stars and wondered what was up there? Everyone knows that we have 8 planets in our solar system. However, outside of our solar system, there are thousands of other planets, 1,800 worlds known to exist, and another 3,000 waiting for confirmation.
Did you know that Saturn is the only planet in our solar system that would actually float on water? Speaking of Saturn, its rings are arguably the flattest structure known to man, being some 300,000 km end to end, but with a vertical thickness of about 10 meters.
Did you know that the sun is actually white? When we see it at sunrise or sunset, when it is low in the sky, it may appear yellow, orange, or red. But that's only because its short wavelength colors, green, blue, and violet, are scattered out by the Earth's atmosphere, much like small waves being dispersed by big rocks along the seashore.
Space isn't just planets and stars though. Space is this thing that continues to grow and possibly continues to expand life. We'll never know for sure, but for now, space is infinite. That's why they say to infinity and beyond.
Did you know, traveling at the speed of light, it would still take you over 4 years to reach the sun's nearest neighboring star?
Now that you've been wowed, I'm Joshua Sparks.
And I'm Coy Kozad. Now let's go back to the guys in the studio.
That's all the time we have for this week. I'm Olivia Ray.
And I'm Joshua Nyheiser. Have a fun and safe weekend, Chillicothe.
I'm holding the paintbrush.